So the question is, what can we do now, or what can our audience do right now to, I guess, mitigate themselves against recessionary pressure, whether in the workforce or whether it's their personal finance? What should they be thinking about right now to make sure that they are not fully impacted by the financial storm coming up?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And to your point, though, right, as we are seeing significant debt levels rise, right, and even in a personal household, what we need to underguard that with, though, is we still have low employment rates overall. So even people who got laid off, they were able to get jobs. So I've seen that even in my own community of people who were impacted by a lot of the tech layoffs and things that happened early in the year. They all have been rehired within 3 months. Everyone that I know that's been laid off early in the year have now found jobs within the 3 to 4 months. So So unemployment levels are still pretty low. However, personally, we all have to take responsibility for our own financial situation. Right, each of us has to be managing our own household because we're all business owners. We are all CEOs of a new corporation, and that is your first and last name Inc. Right.
Yes.
So you've got to make sure that your finances are well aligned. And that means first, we all got to be taking a look at what exactly is coming in. What exactly is coming in and what exactly is going out.
It's going out.
Step one, to one of your points when we were talking about the real estate early on, if what is going out is more than what is coming in, you've got a problem. You've got a problem. Regardless of how much you're making, if you're spending more than you're making, you've got a problem. And even if you remain employed, it's only a matter of time before you end up in bankruptcy or large enough debt that then creates stress, anxiety, and really can ruin people's lives. So that's step one, just looking at what's coming in versus what's going out. And then two is let's look at what exactly is going out. How much of this, we all have to revise our budgets. I think people sometimes they think, oh, if I make a lot of money, it's okay for me to just spend lavishly and spend a lot of money. Even corporations, Amazon has fiscal discipline. They don't just spend money because we're a multi-billion-dollar organization. We're just going to constantly spend money. No, they look for ways to spend money. A lot of Apple look for ways to save money. Apple makes sure it's fiscally disciplined in its allocation of its own resources. And we're talking about a company that has more cash in banks than people will ever see in their lifetimes. And they run their organization incredibly. They're well run and well organized. We all need to take the same approach. Making a lot of money or making less does not mean, constantly overspend on clothes, on food, on shopping, on travel. Social media has a part to play in this as well, in my personal opinion, where, you see how other people are living, and it creates this kind of desire to, yes, I too want to go on vacation, but then you look at your budget, you just put on a credit card and you let somebody else worry about it. Well, that bill comes due. So what exactly is going on? How much of this, and I'm personally, my personal philosophy on spending money is not necessarily just to cut your budget to the bare bone. I don't believe in living to a bare bone budget. In life, we must live with surplus and we must enjoy and make good money and live a good life. However, I am also anti-waste, right? Just being wasteful in how you're managing your finances. Or being triggered by other factors that's not really core to what you really care about. So going on vacation just because other people are going on vacation when you rather stay at home and go to the movies. That is important. So I see one, hey, what's coming in versus what's going out, making sure that you're not overspending. Two, reviewing what exactly is going now and see, where exactly is wasteful and not really adding value, and what is core to who we are. Listen, if date night with the wife is important, continue date night with the wife, or dress or shopping, getting your nails done. If that's important to who you are, I'm team care for yourself. However, if you start to see extra waste around just wasting money, food, shopping, things that's excessive, I would suggest you cut that, because a potential recession could come. And we all could be potentially impacted. Three is just make sure that, from a savings perspective, that you have at least some kind of reserve. People, it's always surprising to me when people live without reserves and have
reserves,
some kind of money
guys.
put aside.
It's important.
If you're if you're living without no reserves, you don't have no money in the bank, you have nothing put away, just at least to mitigate in bad circumstances or things that happen for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you could be potentially impacted. So it's good savings. The last is making sure that you're on top of it from a job market perspective. Hey, is my company doing well? If you see your company starting to downsize a little bit and your job might have been okay from the first layoff, and you don't go look at your resume, you don't go look at, okay, what other companies could I potentially apply for? If something happened to my job, what is my plan to be able to get another job? You are living in dream world, you are living in la la land, and you could be impacted. I don't care who you are. If you see your company is downsizing or things, or you're in one of those roles that companies are constantly looking for to lay off, not to pick on anyone, but recruiters are starting to feel this, right? Like, because a lot of companies might not, I've used their recruiting orgs. If you're a recruiter and maybe you survive layoff 1, you survive layoff 2, you got to go brush up on that resume and be ready to look out for potentially a new job, because you could be potentially impacted. So for me, those are, I guess, the 4 key things. It's do not spend more than you're making. 2, looking at what you are spending on and see where can you cut the fat. 3, bulk up on your savings. And then 4, make sure from an employment, you're either knocking out the park for your current job or you position yourself well to go get a better job if something does happen.
Yeah, I think this is definitely well said. And one thing I'm going to add to from the job perspective, obviously the home perspective, you said exactly right. Don't spend more what you own. Have some savings account, emergency fund, whatever you call it, and make sure that you're managing your personal finance accurately. If you are in a company today, you're an employee, your number one goal is trying to help 2 things. How can I make my company more money, or how can I help them reduce costs? If you are not solving these 2 problems for your company, you are going to be on a chopping block when recession hit. Because the first thing they're going to do is that they're going to look at their P&L statement, or what they call the profit and loss statement. Is Caleb a valuable asset to my team? Because you cost money. Okay. Every employee, it doesn't matter if you work for a Starbucks, serving whatever coffee, or you are somebody who picks trash, or somebody who is a CEO of a company, or somebody who's a director. If you are in this market and you are just going to work and willy-nilly just enjoy, go ahead and enjoy. just enjoy. Go ahead and Go ahead and do that. Whenever I wake up, I think Stephen A said this. Said whenever I go to work, I'm trying to find out some ways to help ESPN make more money. He's absolutely correct. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, how can I make more money? Or how can I make Google more money, or Azure more money? How can I make Disney more money? That is a question you need to be asking yourself, or Starbucks or whatever. If you're not making them money, you're going to be. And how can you make them more money? Your work ethic, showing up on time, don't take long lunches, grind.
Not long lunches now.
Now we're taking lunches, and working from home, and it's like throughout the day they're not working. The hustle mentality is gone. We need to bring back again. I'm not saying that. Hey, listen, I'm not saying that you have families, you have kids to do, but all I'm just saying is that you want to be a valuable asset on your team. That you're going to be indispensable. When shit, excuse my friend, when whatever ish hits the fan, you're not the first to go. So that is one of the things that, you can build a moat, and also another thing. So that's number 1. Number 2 is around the skill set. A company can fire you from your jobs, but they cannot fire you from your skills or your work. I call it your work. If you have a skill set, whatever your skill set is it consulting services? Is it marketing? Is it sales? If you have this skill, you are still going to be in high demand. Build your skill sets and make sure that you position yourself. So just in case your company, for some reason, it's too expensive for them, you can go to another company where your services might fit to help their business grow. Absolutely. Build your skill set and position yourself in the marketplace, because you don't get paid for what you do. You get paid for the value you bring to the table. That is a key metric that you need to understand, that most people need to understand. So it's very, very critical, especially when things are dicey right now. Having a strong skill set in the marketplace, a company can fire you, but they can't fire your skills because that belongs to you personally and something that you've worked for that is indispensable. So that's one way you can, protect yourself.
You're dropping the gems. I love it. No, you're absolutely right. Right. It is. That's exactly what you get paid for. It's an exchange of value, right? You show up to work, you deliver value, right, by sharing your skill sets, your experience, your expertise to help the company grow, and in exchange for that, right, they compensate you with your paycheck, and that so that's an opportunity for you to continue to help this company grow, and that certainly, right, helps you add value. But two is also the skill set point, which is what you've mentioned so eloquently. As long as you're growing with your skill set and you're adding value, whether a company decides to shut down, they lay you off, you're not as worried because yes, I've got my 3-month savings, or right, I've got some money in my savings, so I don't I'm not going to be on the streets. And now, listen, if somebody is incredibly valuable, they're going to come pick you up. And newcomers like, wow, I can't believe this person let you go. We'll be more than happy to have you. And that's kind of how you've seen it. But if you're the kind of person that you're right, you're just middling in, you think your company's just going to be around for the next 30 years, 40 years, and the paycheck will just continue to come in while you're doing the bare minimum, I don't think that's going to work. So,
yeah. I mean, upskilling yourself is very, very critical. Whatever you want to take some classes, like whatever classes you want to take based on the industry you were in, whatever, just take something, upskill yourself, read books, get off the computer, get off Instagram, get off.
I don't know. Read the book.
Get off social media. Get off social media. Build your skill set, because the skill sets that you build today will definitely, the returns are going to be more in the future, because in the future you can do whatever you want to do given the best practices that you've instilled today. So yeah, so I mean, again, that's how you can a hedge, just provide a hedge against a recession. And I'll weave this